Here we are in a flash. Not only is it Monday, it's the last Monday of the month. Thank you all for starting off a week of programming. And yes, we'll be in October before we end this week of programming. That will be Friday the 1st. Tonight, however, we have a great deal to discuss. A serious single-car crash that saw two people, a couple airlifted from nearby the scene. I'll have that. I also have Kentucky State Police out of Moorhead who called me earlier today investigating a stolen tow-behind camper, which they have confirmed was towed through Salyersville. Possibly still might be in the area. I've got pictures from a couple of different cities and locations to show you in hopes that someone out there might recognize the individuals that are now considered to be at least a person of interest in the investigation and the vehicle and or the camper involved. I also have COVID numbers, of course. On the whole, it's still a positive note as far as the trend. But when you break down and look at the numbers, we lost 3 people in McGoffin County to COVID over the weekend, according to the health department. So good and bad news, certainly. But we'll have that for you. Quick update on football scores. We're still 2 weeks away, but we're 1 week closer to a home game for the McGoffin County Hornets, and a host of other news and information. Then there's this. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your Licking Valley RACC Outlook, and it looks good. I mean, what else could you literally ask for today? I mean, it was beautiful. Absolutely, start to finish, beautiful. We've got more of that to come. I'll pick it all up right after just a message or two.
Just click on ConleyTire.net and you can shop for tires. Find out more about services, brands, wheels, rims, their free coffee, free Wi-Fi, and free local shuttle service. And of course, the latest and greatest current offers and specials, like how right now you can get up to $150 back on a set of Goodyears. That's ConleyTire.net, or you can always stop by in Staffordsville or give them a call at 297-2424. At Salyersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Salyersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Salyersville National. Nostalgic or historic or whatever you want to call that feeling you get when you walk in and sit down at the counter and get a scoop of ice cream or a hot dog with sauce while your hometown pharmacist gets your prescriptions ready. Whatever it is, it's still here at Fraser's Prater Drug. Only better, with everything from Jelly Bellies to fresh popcorn to hot and cold gourmet coffees, even hot fudge cakes and banana splits. Fraser's Prater Drug hasn't forgot how important the little things in life are, and they don't want you to either. Stop and see them. They're just a couple of doors down from another Salyersville gym, the Seasonal Shop.
2 things from Post 8 of the State Police in Moorhead. First of all, they tell me they are investigating a fatal crash that happened in Morgan County early this morning. They say that their commercial vehicle enforcement branch is investigating the crash that happened around 9:30 this morning. CVE officer Jamie Fields responded to the Kentucky Route 7 area in Wrigley, and it was there that he followed up on the report of a single vehicle crash involving a large commercial truck. Upon arrival and throughout his investigation, Officer Fields says that 49-year-old Daniel Hoffeister of South Point, Ohio, was traveling southbound on Kentucky 7 operating a 2005 GMC box truck when he, for still an unknown reason, left the roadway and the vehicle overturned. Hoffeister was pronounced dead at the scene. State police say their investigation is ongoing, but they can confirm at this time that drugs and alcohol are not suspected factors in the crash. Also that the driver was wearing his seatbelt at the time that it happened. Well, here in McGoffin County, as well as another county, and maybe those in between, Post 8, specifically Officer Jack Haney, who reached out to me today, are hoping that you may have some information to shed some light on a stolen camper that was stolen from the Slade area just days ago. And now, through Officer Haney's investigation, he has determined and has supporting documentation that that same camper was seen here in Salyersville, and they're trying to investigate and determine as to whether or not it may still possibly be in the McGoffin County area.
All of the photographs that I'm getting ready to show you, or still frames, nevertheless, were all captured or taken on the 14th. That is almost 2 weeks ago. It will be 2 weeks ago tomorrow, Tuesday the 14th. These pictures from the Shell Mart there in the Slade area, across from where you, of course, will go to the gorge on Mountain Parkway. This Chevrolet van, easily identifiable, I think, to some degree, silver in color. I'm going to say late 80s, early 90s models. Nevertheless, it has a high roof on it. It also, at the time of this photograph, had a residential small window air conditioning unit in the back of the van that you'll see a little clearer here in just a few moments. There's a bug screen or deflector on the hood there as well. There's some other characteristics and identifiers that you'll be able to see throughout these photographs. Nevertheless, this was taken after authorities received word of a stolen camper that was stolen from the rest area just across the Mountain Parkway. They backtracked and then found that the van, before hitching up to that camper trailer, had been at that Shell Mart. And then went to that rest area and hitched up to a Kodiak tow-behind camper. This is a bumper pool, dual-axle camper. I think it's a 16-foot camper. This is the best photographs that we have of the camper. These photographs, however, were taken at the car wash, the hometown car wash here in Sagersville, up by McFarland and Tinker's law offices. A man and a woman can be seen getting out of the van, walking around the vehicle. The camper is left in the bay. I'm not unsure whether or not they were washing it or whatever, but nevertheless, these photographs were captured the same day, later the afternoon, after the camper had been stolen. And these are the two people that state police are hoping to question to find out more. These photographs were taken from a surveillance video inside that Shell Mart down in Slade just moments before that camper was stolen. If you recognize the individuals, the van, or see a camper matching that description, which authorities had a tip that it may have been parked here in the downtown Sagersville area for a number of days, but were unable to find it after they received that tip. If you've seen anything that matches any of this description whatsoever, please call Post 8, 606-784-4127. Direct your call to Officer Haney of Post 8. He is the one handling the case and the one who sent me these photographs, in hopes that someone may recognize any or all of the information or individuals in the van and the camper that we have passed along.
When I come back, a serious two-car crash earlier today that sent two people via helicopter to the Pikeville Medical Center for their injuries, and more headlines. Stay tuned.
Welcome to East Kentucky's premier vape and CBD shop, offering all natural tobacco alternatives and everything vape and smoke shop related. Everything you're looking for and everything you're not. Best quality, best prices, best service.
Come to Appalachian Smoke Shop for all your tobacco alternatives and accessories, as well as products like CBD, kratom, and legal THC that people are telling us they're using to treat pain, anxiety, depression, difficulty sleeping, and lack of energy, as well as just for overall wellness. Make it your one stop, Appalachian Smoke Shop.
There's no missing that this is the new McFarland and Tinker Law Office location on the Mountain Parkway in the former Farm Bureau building in Sagersville, just like there's no denying that their nearly 60 years of legal experience has won their clients millions and millions of dollars in disability, auto accident, and wrongful death cases. It's where your case matters to you and to us. McFarland and Tinker, also Griffey approved.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Summer is definitely in full swing at the seasonal shop, where it is filled with new arrivals in home decor, women's clothing, Ridge and Holler, and more. They've given their home decor a fresh look, and they have new displays literally wall to wall, from farmhouse to traditional, equestrian, and more. And Oat Shore neoprene bags are the latest craze in women's accessories, and they've got dozens of colors and styles available right now, and new ones coming in daily. And lily planters have arrived just in time for school or work. And don't leave the guys out. Ridge and Holler shirts, yes, that's a McGoffin County Cadillac cap, and hats are a huge seller at the seasonal shop. Designs so unique and so special for our area. Designs you can only get at the seasonal shop, where they still have delivery, baby and wedding registry, curbside service, and more.
The chief of the North Magoffin Fire Department was actually one of the first to arrive on scene and immediately recognized that it was his family, close family, involved in a single car crash today on Improvement Road. It was this afternoon around 1 o'clock or so, I believe, that first responders found a couple in their car which had overturned.
It was a family member. They just run off the road, had two occupants, went over an embankment and hit some rocks and stuff, and it flipped over. And they was, upon their arrival, they was both out of the vehicle. They had got, actually the driver had got the passenger out and laying on the ground upon their arrival.
Jenkins says that the husband and wife, again, members of his family, were both alert, conscious, and talking, but did suffer some serious and traumatic injuries. And paramedics with the lifeguard ambulance service, which arrived, called for not one but two helicopters, two air evac units, which both landed at the established landing zone, the field on top of the Improvement Hill next to the church. Both, I believe, taken from there to the Pikeville Medical Center for the extent of their injuries. Believed to not be life-threatening at that time, but certainly serious and traumatic in nature. Improvement was blocked off to traffic for about 2 hours until the scene could be cleared and the vehicle could be removed and the victims airlifted for treatment.
I'm still waiting on a few details for our COVID numbers on a local level today, so let me hold off on those for a second. And while I do, I can bring to you what I have on the state level this evening. There is some positive news to be taken from today's address by Governor Beshear, saying that after literally 2 months of seeing increases in new COVID cases every week, some days we would go down, but overall we've seen week after week after week for 8 or 9 weeks now, continue to increase, sometimes dramatically. However, for the past 2 weeks, we have seen total case numbers go down for Kentucky. Significantly, but still with a long way to go.
Most recent numbers indicating that we might not just be plateauing, but officially decreasing. And positivity and hospitalization numbers are following that same decline, at least for now as well. We did, however, have 85 deaths confirmed in Kentucky from Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Saturday, we had over 3,100 cases and 37 deaths, over 1,500 cases and 31 deaths on Sunday, 1,700 cases and 19 deaths today, while our positivity rating fell almost 0.5% from last Friday, down to 10.55. But please keep in mind that among those who are dying are 39-year-olds and 42-year-olds, 32-year-olds, 44, 45, 46, 47. Younger people making up more of the cases and deaths.
As you can see, this last week does show a decline from really the 3 previous weeks. What we'll want to see is what this next week brings to see how steep our decline is, or whether or not we reach a new plateau, which happened in many of our other surges. It's a good sign. The case numbers are going down. We do need them to go down a lot faster, though. Remember, even at 22,560 cases, which is a great improvement from when we had over 30,000, it's still one of the higher weeks that we have had in the course of this pandemic. And that number of cases still creates challenges for our hospitals.
Those hospitalizations, like deaths, are the numbers that are not declining, as the governor said today. In fact, 92% of the state's approximate 1,500 ICU beds that are able to be staffed or manned are full, leaving only about 102 available beds in Kentucky at this hour.
The governor also spent time today during his press conference outlining who is eligible for the booster shots, which have been approved thus far. Now, let me stress, first of all, nothing on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to date in regards to a booster. For Moderna, it is still solely being given to those who are immunocompromised, cancer patients recovering, and the like, who have serious immune system issues. However, of course, Friday, as you may have heard, Pfizer was given the green light, the CDC giving them a authorization for a booster, and now it has been determined for who. So if you had the Pfizer vaccine, individuals 65 and older, residents in long-term care facilities. If you are 50 to 64 years of age with an underlying medical condition, you can get the booster. If you are 18 to 49 years of age with an underlying medical condition, you may receive a booster if they assess their risk of if their assessed risk of infection is high. Individuals 18 to 64 who are at increased risk because of their job, hospital workers, essential workers, that means everything from teachers to grocery store workers, you too can get your Pfizer booster at this time as of this past Friday. Moderna is expected to follow suit or be allowed to follow suit sometime in the near future. That has just been yet to happen. And of course, I know a lot of folks via the health department receive the Moderna vaccine in McGoffin County. A lot of those others may have received the Pfizer, and that right now is the guidelines that you are to follow for boosters. With that said, let's go to our calendar real quickly. Still some local news to follow, obviously, but let's see what happened. Let's see what's happening, and I can't tell you what's happening. Birthdays are happening.
Yes, indeedy they are. Let's see. The first one says, happy belated birthday, Crystal Bailey, that is. Love a long list of loving family and friends. Happy belated birthday to you, Crystal. Happy birthday to you. I have another belated birthday wish as well. This one is with a lot of love from Papaw and from Jack, and it's to Chloe Salyer. Happy birthday to you. And I have a happy 9th birthday to Lane Porter. Lane, happy 9th to you. Love Mom, Dad, Mama, and Papaw, and a bunch of family and friends that love you lots. Happy birthday to you, too. Other calendar, I know I don't sing well. I'm sorry to put you all through that, but I like birthdays, man. On the calendar tonight, the North Magoffin Site-Based Council has a special called meeting set for tomorrow at noon in the school's library. That is tomorrow at noon for the North Magoffin Elementary Site-Based Council. I have a few things still on our calendar from our Sagersville Masonic Lodge. First of all, a reminder that their Coats for Kids fundraiser is ongoing there. Seeking for donations for the Coats for Kids program, working with our Family Resource Youth Service Centers to identify those kids who need them, those winter coats and shoes for the winter. This has been such a wonderfully successful program for so many years. Help our Sagersville Masonic Lodge continue to keep it going this year. Another big year. Call Paul Gumby Montgomery's number in the bottom of your screen, 606-424-6302, if you can help in any form or fashion. And as a part of a fundraiser for the Masonic Lodge, they're having a horse show. This is October the 9th, a few weeks away. I'll remind you when it gets a bit closer. That's a Saturday at 6 down at the Horse Park here in McGoffin County on 460. Looks like 28 classes and some big prizes to pay out for those championships, I believe, and $5 to get in is all it is. Kids 12 and under get in for free, and free is our calendar as well. Birthdays and anniversaries, too, and we still publish birthdays and birth announcements and anniversaries in the newspaper for free as well. Just send those to Heather at SagersvilleIndependent.com. Not sure if I said it or not, but calendar and birthdays brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau, while funeral service announcements are provided nightly by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. And we have a listing tonight, services to be held tomorrow for Janet Sue Smith. Janet Sue Conley Smith, 67 of Pine Point Street in Sagersville. She passed away Friday at the Paul Hall Medical Center. Janet was the daughter of Dorothy Puckett Conley and the late Will Conley. Her husband, Bill, brothers Bill Conley, L.B. Conley, and son-in-law David Keith Oxshire also preceded her in death. She survived by her son Mike Nichols and daughters Robin Conn and Deborah Oxshire, mother Dorothy, brothers John Puckett and Rick Conley, sisters Brenda Hayes and Wilmer Sizemore, 6 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, and a host of family and friends. Funeral services for Janet will be held tomorrow at 1 from the Sagersville Funeral Home. Visitation is for the rest of this evening. 44-year-old Kenny Barker of Flat Fork in Sagersville passed away Saturday at the Paul Hall Medical Center. Arrangements still being made at this time and to be announced soon by the Sagersville Funeral Home. Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Call the pros. All Pro Gutter Works specializes in seamless gutters, vinyl siding, metal roofing, replacement doors and windows, remodeling or adding on to your home with free and fair estimates backed by decades of happy and return customers with guaranteed satisfaction and 18 months 0% financing. All Pro Gutter Works, 349-9999.
Well, I think in our last update on local COVID numbers, McGoffin County's positivity rating was about 180% or so. Well, that's very close to where we are. We're actually a little higher than that even tonight. There's a glimmer of hope, though, right now. It only comes in the form of today and yesterday. Yesterday was a Sunday, so I really don't take that into account. But today, if you're looking for something positive to grab a hold of, today is the lowest Monday we have had in weeks.
There is something positive to be taken from that. However, we have to talk about the tragic first. Per the health department, 3 deaths confirmed over the course of just the weekend here in McGoffin County related to COVID. 3 deaths. I do not have an accurate death toll at this hour. The health department is working on that. Of course, there's always a lag in confirmation from the state, but that certainly is going to put us, I believe, well over the 30 mark, if I'm not mistaken. 3 deaths over the course of the weekend. Now, as for some positive news that we can try to draw on after talking about that tragic loss for those families. Saturday, there was 22 cases here in McGoffin County reported. There was 2 on Sunday and 6 today. So that 6 is our lowest Monday that I've had. I can't tell you how far I would have to go back to see one lower than that. So that certainly is good news. Also good news, 0 of those 6 cases today were in kids. 0. Here's a little bit of good news for you. Go to the bottom right of your screen. COVID numbers. It's not a great decline, but it's a decline. Last week we had 120 total cases here in McGoffin County. The week before that we had 144. It's significant. It is very significant. 24 is significant. So we're hoping that this next week will follow the same trend. Our positivity rating, as you could see last week, was well over 180. I believe 188 or so at its highest point. Today, we are still well into the critical zone and well over 100 at 168 for McGoffin County. Our neighbors are doing better than we are. Floyd County is well below 100 now, 78. Johnson County essentially 78. Morgan 36. Breathitt 78, not 82. So we don't have anyone as high as we are in the direct proximity to us. McGoffin County, though, still well up into the 100s. I don't have today's COVID numbers from Floyd and Johnson, but I know that over the course of the weekend, Saturday, the Floyd County Health Department had 10 new cases. And I think it was yesterday that Johnson County as well. No, Saturday as well for Johnson County. They had 17 new cases. So I'm hoping that they, too, are continuing. And I believe they are as well, seeing their total case counts drop as we have here in McGoffin County for the past couple of weeks. I mean, it's only a couple of weeks, but again, we all have to start seeing some decline sometime. We certainly hope it's now.
McGoffin County Hornets traveled to Belfry this past Friday night. Not a win for the Hornets, but the bottom line is, in my opinion, is it gets them 1 week closer to a home game that's still 2 weeks away.
Yeah, the Hornets got a big 0 for a road trip home over Belfry. Belfry actually struggling themselves. This is their first win of the season. Yeah, Belfry. I guess they had a little aggression to take out on McGoffin County. 43-0 your final score. And yeah, Belfry's first win of the game, or of the season rather, puts them at 1-5. McGoffin County, though, still sitting at 3-2. That loss, I don't want to say expected, but it didn't quite hurt maybe as bad as some. 0-2 in their class and 0-2 in the district, but nevertheless, Magafa County 3-2, and they got an off week to get a little rest. That couldn't have worked out better, maybe. And they'll be back, and the good news is they'll be back at home starting on, not this Friday, but the following, October the 7th, and we'll be in for a 4-game home stretch to wrap up the regular season. Oh, could be some postseason play in store. Johnson Central and the Golden Eagles, they're 3-2 as well after a 14-22 loss. Now, this was week before last. They had an off date on this past Friday, so that's essentially unchanged from what I had for you last week. They're still 3-2, and they're still going to be hosting Clay County on this Friday as the Golden Eagles get back to the gridiron. But the Tigers were as well in action, and they picked up their third loss of the season on the road at Garrett County. Final score 14-22. Tigers 2-3, 0-1 in their class, hosting Perry Central at home this Friday. Kickoff set for, as you could guess, 7:30.
And with that, behold your Licking Valley RECC outlook. I mean, everyone just seemed to be all smiles today, wherever I was. I wasn't that many places, but I made a point to be able to get out a few times today. I found an excuse one way or the other because, oh my gosh. I mean, it's the kind of weather that you just long for. Good news is, if you liked it, we're going to get more of it.
Yeah, I think the humidity was right around 53, 54% this afternoon, 76, 77 degrees. You had a light southwest wind. Sometimes it was, 15 miles per hour or so, but it was nice. It was nice. 54 tonight. We'll see a few increasing clouds a little later on, but they're not going to make anything or do anything. We're dry and beautiful for days on end. Winds will start to come down to 3 to 5 out of the southwest here shortly if they haven't already. And then check it out. More of the same, just a tad bit warmer for days in a row. Tomorrow, 81, mostly sunny. Winds out of the southwest again, a bit breezy up to 15, 16 miles per hour at times, but definitely beautiful. A little fog at the onset of your Wednesday, but we'll still burn that off on our way to 81 under sunny, mostly clear skies. Lows that night right around 54. Thursday, holding on to mostly the same. A little bit of a change up coming. Thursday, not so much. We'll just back off a degree or two down to 80 and sunny and mostly clear, and a nighttime low of 51. Over the course of Thursday night into your Friday, we'll take a little hit. No rain or moisture associated with it, but we'll go from 80 on your Thursday to maybe 76, 77 on your Friday. But look at that, still sunny and partly cloudy, still low 50s. Saturday, back to 76, mostly sunny, partly cloudy, 53. Yeah, okay, so Sunday and Monday, a 20% chance of showers, 20 to 30%, but who cares right now? I mean, look at that. Just beautiful, beautiful weather for days. It's going to be hard to stay focused on anything but, perhaps, especially if you have the opportunity and privilege to work outside throughout any of it.
That'll wrap it up for tonight. Just getting started. I still have a host of news reports that I have just had a bit of a backlog on, and some of them, many of them are good news stories that I'll be glad to share with you, and a few others that I'm working on actually as well. We'll be covering all that before I wrap up this week, and which will end on an October note on Friday, so I've got plenty of time. I say that. I hope I have plenty of time. For now, good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and see you tomorrow.